often a vendor will say, hey, listen, do it for 0.5% less, or listen, you throw in the marketing or whatever. It seems that the good ones are able to actually still win the business and actually work with the client and help them understand that, generally speaking, the cheapest agent and the best agent are not the same agent,
Just because the guy or girl down the street that's got half the ability that you've got, half the experience, half the network, 10% the negotiation skills, who's at 1%, don't think you should have any need to match them. So I think, Tom, if it's a problem in your market, and for some agents it is, some it isn't. Little tip, Karen Terry, who I know has done your real estate gym, and a dear friend of yours, Tom, and I know you've coached her. I was talking to KT a long time ago, and she said, I'm getting beaten down on fee a bit. And I said, just type it in, type the fee in, don't write it in. And she said, why do you say that? I said, because when you write it in, they assume it's negotiable. When you type it in, so when it's a part of the printed document, not something that you print. And anyway, she rang me up and she said, I've just done 10 listings since you gave me that advice. I got 9 of them at the right price, at the full price. So there are little things you can do that'll just weigh it in your favor. So certainly make sure it comes to feet.
Look, and it's really interesting, John, that sometimes there's no logic to it. But if people think that that's the rule, that's the given. I mean, I do it all the time. I went in, I asked them, I was in another part of New South Wales the other day, and I said something to someone that was serving me, and he says, yeah, sorry, mate, as a rule, we don't do it. I never turned around and said, oh, who invented the rule? Why is that rule there? It's like, well, that's the rule. And, and it's the same with what I think Karen Terry says. Well, that's what it is. That's what it is. But John, I think
she even said that she didn't have to debate it. Most people looked at it and they nodded. And so where do I sign? Got a pen. It's interesting, the written word, and when a document has got terms and conditions that appear to be just standard for the business, it takes the pressure off. The next thing is, I just think selling fee is relatively easy, because at the end of the day, Tom, I don't need you to pay me anything now. All I need you to do is decide, am I the agent you have most confidence in to represent you? If the answer is yes, I'm 2%, maybe some are a bit less, maybe some are a bit more. I'm 2%, but I'll work as hard as I can. I'll get you an extraordinary result, and you don't have to pay me until you're delighted with the result. So you have control, Tom, around that. And that's the truth. I'm not asking for $30,000 check today to get to work. I'm saying, I'd like to represent you. Here's my plan. I'm ready to start. I'd love to be your agent. I don't know if I'm more or less expensive. Most people tell me that hire me, tell me I'm at the top range of listing fee, so be it. And by the way, Tom, if there's someone you think is better than me and they're more expensive, I would absolutely encourage you to sign up with them, which I do. I think if there's a better agent and they're an extra 0.5%, and you really think they're better than me, you should sign them up and pay the extra 0.5%. That's my view.
I think, John, the way you describe that, I was sitting there imagining myself as a vendor, and you take a lot of pressure off, because you're basically sort of saying is, this is not a big problem at the moment, because, we haven't even got to work to see what your result is, So, and it takes the pressure off. And I know that you've also had the same view when you talk about real estate pricing, you take the pressure off vendors at a listing presentation to sort of say, hey, listen, it's not something we've got to get super stressed. It's not like 3 or 4 agents are going to come in and we've got to get this price right. That, we do have to find out how we're going to get that price, the process right.